Coming up on Primetime, Adriana Cotero speaks with the family of the woman killed in the Saturday morning crash down in Santa Rita. Plus, complaints filed against the Adjutant General as Chris Barnett has the latest on the investigation by the National Guard Bureau. And Nestor Lecanto crunches the numbers on the governor's $1.2 billion budget request for next fiscal year.
Hafaday and good evening. The Guam Police Department's Highway Patrol Division is investigating the island's second traffic-related fatality. KUAM's Adriana Cotero has a story.
I fall asleep, but I fall asleep and it's not long. I just fall asleep and at the time I wake, I already hit the tree.
After swerving off the road and crashing into a tree, Reese Ludwig woke up and found his wife, 39-year-old Carmi Lewis Ludwig's head resting on his lap.
I woke up I'm still in the car, but the car is smoke, anything. So I wake up because they have smoke inside, and my wife, I try to make her see if she's okay, or because I try to wake up her.
It was early Saturday morning around 2 o'clock a.m. when Guam Police Department officers with the Southern Precinct Command responded to the crash. There were a total of 3 people in the car. According to the driver, Reese Ludwig, his wife and nephew were picking him up from work as his shift at Shirley's had just ended.
She asked me to drive because she says she's want to sleep. So the time I drive, I almost there to my house, but
the Agate residents did not make it home. According to GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapau, the victim was transported to Naval Hospital Guam, and en route, CPR was conducted by Guam Fire Department medics. Upon arrival, she had succumbed to her injuries and was pronounced deceased by attending physicians.
I just came from the Highway Patrol Division, and they did rule that the manner of death was accidental, and the cause of death was blunt trauma to the body.
This is the second traffic-related fatality of the year, and Sergeant Tapau says that they still have to determine whether speed, alcohol, or drugs were factors relative to the crash. Returning back to the site of the incident on Route 2A in Agate, the family is here setting flowers in memory and in place of Carmi Lewis Ludwig.
She really cares about us, especially my kids.
Carmi is survived by her husband, 3 children, 2 teenage daughters, and 8-month baby boy.
She was a loving mother. She was a caring mother. She was funny.
My mom was the best mom. She was, she was everything to us. I just love her. And I really miss her.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
The White House has declared a public health emergency over the coronavirus outbreak and has imposed a ban on foreign arrivals from China. U.S. citizens and permanent residents will be allowed entry, but will require a 14-day quarantine. Adaloop says the ban extends to Guam, and the airport began implementing the procedures on a pair of flights this morning. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Airport Executive Manager Tom Atta says 19 travelers originating from China and transiting through Korea and 5 Chinese passengers transiting through Japan arrived on Guam early Monday morning. He says authorities were notified and the proper protocols were followed.
So when those flights came in, those passengers were identified and they were allowed to disembark, and they were brought directly to an isolation area up on the concourse. There was enough time to have been able to mobilize the public health personnel assigned to be available to screen these passengers.
He says none of them showed any symptoms.
The guidelines is that if they're not exhibiting any of these symptoms, then we basically take all the information that's needed and release them. If they had had any symptoms of the virus, then certainly we would have held them, and public health would have looked at putting them up in a quarantine facility.
For now, the airport is not screening all arriving passengers, but Atta says it's preparing in case that should be the next requirement.
We're trying to source where we can get these thermal scanners as an extra measure of precaution. to put up there.
The airport may also provide arriving passengers with hand sanitizers, highly recommended by public health, to protect against contracting the virus.
Otherwise, everything that we do is as per the guidelines that's provided by the Center for Disease Control.
Ada says responding to the coronavirus outbreak has become a real balancing act. How to allay the public's concerns of an outbreak and not cause any undue impact to tourism.
You've got to bring things into balance. You can't, burn down the house to find that one rodent that you saw going across the living room. So I think we're taking all the measures that are necessary as the guidelines that are being given by the Centers for Disease Control.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Keeping up with the coronavirus, public health met with local physicians and representatives from various medical clinics today. The briefing was held at the Guam Memorial Hospital this afternoon. Public Health Director Linda Donorsi says GovGuam is spearheading an aggressive public information campaign to ensure the community is prepared for the possible arrival of the coronavirus.
The other thing we want to ask in leveraging of resources from this entire medical community is on personnel. If you have any supplies, whether it's oxygen tanks, thermometers, hand sanitizers, masks, or face shields, or gloves, or N95 masks, or surgical masks, and of course equipment. So that's the reason why we want to coordinate all our efforts together.
Annette Uggan heads up Public Health's communicable disease program. She provided additional information on infection control and isolation procedures when a sick passenger arrives at the airport. Uggan stressing that their communicable disease response plan has been in effect for decades.
So basically what happens if we have an ill passenger 1 hour before they arrive into Guam, the airlines are supposed to call the airport tower. The airport tower then calls their management, who reports it to US CDP and Guam CQA. Guam CQA will then notify public health. We do have a 24/7 hour phone.
Uggan says they will gather their team and report to the airport and work with customs based on signs and symptoms of the sick passenger. That will determine what course of action will be taken. Adjutant General Esther Agagi is under investigation as the National Guard Bureau looks into complaints filed against her by soldiers under her command. But the Guard says complaints come with the territory. Here's more from Chris Barnett.
National Guard spokesperson Major Josephine Blas confirming with KUAM the National Guard Bureau leadership's visit to Guam wasn't all positive. Major Blas said two generals meeting with our governor at Adelup last week to brief the Magahaga on several investigations into Adjutant General Esther Agagi.
We just wanted to let her know that there's a lot of investigations going on. You know, by nature of the position, the Adjutant General, sometimes when people are unhappy, they're going to file complaints.
Guard Bureau Head General Joseph Langell and the Guard Bureau's top lawyer, General Chris Refrano, on island briefly last week, with Major Blas saying complaints about Agagi were sent stateside.
Because she's the Adjutant General, it has to go up to the National Guard Bureau. So they're looking into it. In any state, when they get complaints, especially if it's the Adjutant General, it's going to go up to the National Guard Bureau. And General Refrano being the head JAG, he's going to be the one looking into it and reporting to General Langell.
From a reprimand on her record to questions about whether or not she met the tag position's basic eligibility requirements, Agagi has seen her fair share of controversy during her tenure as the first woman adjutant general to lead the Guam Guard. A series of anonymous letters criticizing Agagi and her leadership team have also made headlines. One letter alleged Agagi's mandatory removal date was changed, and others said there was a climate of fear and retaliation at the Guard. We asked Major Blas if the investigations into the Guam Guard and Agagi have anything to do with the anonymous letters, and if she thought the Guard Bureau was concerned with those letters and the issues raised in them.
I won't say they're not concerned about it, because everybody's always concerned when they get complaints, but you know, I think it's gonna come out in our favor.
While Major Blas confirms the Guard Bureau briefed the governor on investigations and complaints involving Agagi and the Guard, both our Magahaga and her chief of staff, Tony Babauta, didn't say anything about that when we asked them last week.
I'm not aware that anything like that was discussed between the governor and the general.
It actually went very well. He was very positive about our National Guard.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Recently unsealed documents in district court reveal more details about a 56-year-old woman who pleaded guilty to various counts of bank fraud. From January 2011 to September 2019, Teresa Pareda is accused of scamming Dr. Robert Gatewood's dental clinic in Hagåtña out of more than $1 million. She was employed there for almost 30 years and was the office manager with duties that included managing the company's finances. According to the plea agreement, Pareda would divert money from the clinic for her own personal use by writing unauthorized company checks to herself and other companies she was associated with. In total, she wrote about 284 checks, obtaining over $1.1 million. Dr. Gatewood is the husband of Chief Judge Frances Tadenko Gatewood, who had recused herself from the case. Pareda is scheduled to appear back in court on April 29th for a status hearing. Stay tuned. We are back with more news after the break.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now. KUAM business owners. Green Energy Solutions would like to help you save on your power bill. We supply various LED lighting, energy-efficient air conditioners, solar thermal VRF systems, and solar panels. You can count on our product warranty and quick turnaround and immediate response service. GESI has saved other local businesses over 80% off their power. Call us to see how much we can save your business. Call us today at 647-8111 or visit gesiguam.com for more information.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Based on the blockbuster that has critics craving. It's the all-new Buffalo Chicken Nacho Fries, topped with shredded chicken and drizzled with tangy buffalo sauce. Bring home this mouth-watering sequel with Taco Bell delivery.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. A little over $808,000 in tax refunds will be mailed out this week. That's 172 error-free tax returns filed on or before August 10th. The governor has submitted a $1.2 billion budget for fiscal year 2021, and Advertisements says as part of its priorities, there are funding increases for police and public health. But the spending plan also includes several $1 million for targeted employee pay increases. Nestor Lecanto has more.
The budget forecasts $824.6 million in general fund revenue, $251.3 million in special funds, and $142 million in federal matching, for a total of nearly $1.22 billion. But $125 million will be taken off the top for tax refunds. Budget Director Lester Carlson says while most line agencies will stay near current funding levels, GPD will get an added $2.3 million to hire more officers, and DOC's budget will increase by $1.1 million to address a variety of issues. A bright spot, he says, is the Medicaid program. The matching requirement has been revised. GovGuam needs only to come up with 17% to the federal government's 83%. The governor intends to take full advantage.
Her budget contains the entire $21.7 million, which is necessary to match the entirety of the $127 million.
Advertisements is also increasing the medically indigent program by $6 million to $10 million. The governor is also concerned about retaining local talent, and Carlson says salaries are a key issue.
We are embarking upon a revised compensation plan, and in her budget, She has identified $5 million to be able to be utilized to fund any pay adjustments. Primarily, we're looking at teachers and nurses.
But perhaps the most controversial provision of last year's budget was the increase in the business privilege tax from 4% to 5%. The new budget does not contemplate a rollback.
We are still dealing with the impacts of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Many people indicate that our tax base shrunk by $80 million collectively. The BPT brings in about a little over $60 million. There has not been any viable solution to mitigating that $60 million.
Critics at the time had called on GovGuam to cut costs before raising taxes. Carlson says they did by about $30 million. In the end, the government wound up the fiscal year with $21 million more than was appropriated. Adelup won't call it a surplus, though. Instead, they say it's unappropriated excess revenue that will be used for deficit reduction. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Leconto.
The Guam Community College's first baccalaureate degree program was officially announced today at a press conference. On January 22nd, the Accrediting Commission for Community and Junior Colleges approved GCC's application for a 4-year Bachelor of Science degree in the Career Technical Education program. It was about 5 years ago when GCC entertained the idea of a baccalaureate degree program, and then last year they determined the CTE curriculum would be most beneficial for the Guam and all of Micronesia, says GCC President Mary Okada.
Education Summit last year, when Superintendent Fernandez spoke about the shortage of teachers that they had and the opportunities that exist for students to pursue careers earlier in public education. And so based on that discussion, we figured, okay, a Bachelor's of Science in Career and Technical Education meets the criteria for, one, supporting the mission, and two, making sure that it was something that it was going to be added to the Guam Community College in terms of what we're able to offer. And then three was so that it was not going to be competitive with any other degree program that currently exists.
The program is expected to begin in the fall semester and is open to individuals with an associate degree and incoming high school graduates. According to Okada, there are 12 CTE programs in the public high schools with almost 2,900 students enrolled. If you're interested in learning more about the program, contact the Education Department at 735-0265 or email education.info@guamgcc.edu. Guam Customs and Quarantine held their graduation ceremony for the 11th Customs Training Cycle. The cycle is comprised of 23 customs trainees and is the third largest one to graduate in customs history. Trainees were hired in April of 2019 and have since completed GCC Certificate in Criminal Justice Program and Customs In-Service Technical Training Program to become sworn customs officers and have met the requirements of the Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission. According to Ike Pareto, who is the Director of Customs, this is the first cycle to graduate in 6 years, and it couldn't have come at a more critical time. The Guam Air National Guard recognized the best from its ranks during its annual enlisted awards banquet. 254th Support Squadron Senior Airman Kyle Martinez was named Airman of the Year. Sergeant Michael Robago was named Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, while Master Sergeant Herculeo Escobar III was named Senior Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, and Master Sergeant Bill Alforque was awarded First Sergeant of the Year. The Guam Air National Guard winners will now compete for the regional and national award. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Dave Delgado has a recap from an exciting Super Bowl showdown between the Niners and the Chiefs.
Agent Alpha. What's that? An Alpha Insurance customer needs a claim settled immediately? I'm on it. Agent Alpha.
In the event of an accident, theft, or breakdown, each of our Alpha Insure agents are trained to go above and beyond.
This is my stop. There she is. Target acquired. Agent Alpha.
Yes!
dancing like a snare. Cool down, down by the river with the flowers in your hair. And I know everywhere you go, your love is gonna shine. Your love is gonna shine.
Shell's Million Miles giveaway is back, and we're giving 100,000 United Mileage Plus miles to 10 lucky winners. You can jet off to Japan, break away to LA, or even sightsee in Paris. So, how do you make a getaway? Just use your Lucky 7 card when you fuel up with 7 gallons or more, and you're automatically entered to win. Fuel up at your nearest Shell station today and start planning your new adventure. No purchase necessary. Some conditions apply. See store for details.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Super Bowl 54 going down in Miami. The San Francisco 49ers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm here with Freddie, who's definitely sporting the 49ers. And we'll start off with Mo. Mo, you're a Steelers guy, but you're going with the Chiefs this time.
Since the Steelers aren't playing, I'm going for the Chiefs, yes.
And what do you think are going to be some of the keys to success if Kansas City is going to pull off this win?
Definitely Patrick, I think is his name. He's good, and he'll pull it off, I think.
And for you, going for the 49ers this year, it's been a while, but what do you think the 49ers are going to have to do in order for them to have some success?
Defense has been proven that they win championships. They're definitely going to have to contain Patrick Mahomes despite his kneecap injury. He's definitely been proven to put in some yards there and have some ground control. Defensive line is known too. We got the #1 D in the league, so you know what I mean. They just do their thing. They come in and they be honest and they play their hard defense. This is the most important game of the year, so defense definitely is going to have to come in and step up and do what they do best.
We pick up on the action in the first quarter. San Francisco's Deebo Samuel got involved with the run game early. Samuel carried the ball 3 times for 53 yards, including a 32-yard run. He also had 5 receptions for 39 yards. 49ers led 3-0 after a Robbie Gould field goal. Kansas City scored their first touchdown of the game after Patrick Mahomes kept the ball and punched it in on 2nd and goal. Mahomes rushed for 29 yards on 9 attempts. KC up 7-3. San Francisco tied the game at 10 heading into halftime. Garoppolo hit Kyle Juszczyk for the 15-yard touchdown. Raheem Mostert finished the game with 12 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. This one good from a yard out. The 49ers led 20-10 with 6:17 left in the game. Mahomes finds Travis Kelce wide open for the touchdown. Kelce had 6 grabs for 43 yards. With this score, Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs to a 21-point fourth quarter rally to pull off the come-from-behind win 31-20. He was selected as this year's Super Bowl MVP, finishing 26 of 42 for 286 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Wide receivers Tyreek Hill had 9 grabs for 105 yards. Sammy Watkins contributed with 5 receptions for 98 yards in the win.
Mahomes' running game was on point. Running every quarter, loved it. Fourth quarter interception, and that's what really sealed the deal for them to win. Go Chiefs!
It's got to be Mahomes. He came up when he needed it most, some big throws to Sammy Watkins. He just kept cool, knew he's doing a lot of points for the young kid, and that's why they won.
It was the quarterback. And their offensive line came through, gave him Mahomes the time he needed to throw that he didn't give him in the first half, and he was right on the money. Plus, they made the fatal mistake of going up by 10 points. Mahomes comes back from 10 points down in every playoff game.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the island. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Morning, 2 coffees and 4 orders of those new donut sticks.
You must really love these donut sticks.
I do, but they're not for me. They're for them.
Meet me in the middle. I'm losing my leg.
I will take a coffee, though.
Introducing new cinnamon sugar donut sticks from McCafe, made fresh every morning. It's a little sweet to go with your coffee.
Shop Guam E-Festival is back with amazing deals. Download the free Shop Guam mobile app on your app store and present the discount code to your favorite Shop Guam vendors. Get access to hundreds of offers, including shopping, dining, and entertainment. Enjoy great deals now until February 10th.
Welcome back. Before we close out the news, here's your birthday shout-outs.
On this Super Bowl Monday, we say happy birthday to some very, very special birthday babies, led off by Peyton Sarai and Nicholas Pinala. Happy birthday to you. Also, a happy big birthday number 75 to Julie Enriquez. Happy birthday, Mom. We love you and all you do for us. Love you always, Joan and Ronnie. Happy birthday number 12 to Mia Wolford. From all your family and friends, they all say that they love you. And celebrating a belated birthday on this biggest of sports days, Ed Cruz, who was born on the 31st. Happy birthday, Ed. We love you, say Bernice and his family. Also, Matias, who was born also on the last day of January. Happy birthday to you from all of your friends. Born on February 1st is Albert Mendiola. Happy birthday to the man of our house, our hero, Albert, Laverne, Jonah, and Isaiah. Also born on the 2nd was Tyler Joseph Artero Rios, and Tyler celebrates a birthday today. McKenna Regis celebrates birthday lucky number 7, and your entire family is sending their love. Rodney Valoria has a birthday on the 2nd as well. Give a special birthday shout out from all of us at KUAM and Cultural Community. And happy birthday to Joy Lanning Regis, who celebrates birthday number 29. We love you, with your family and your friends. Hope each and every one of you had a birthday. Enjoy your birthday, enjoy the big game, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
You can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering on KUAM.com. And that's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Stay tuned. Cruising with KUAM is up next with Jason Solis. In the passenger seat is retired meteorologist Chip Gard.
Closed captioning is brought to you by